So at exactly 7 o'clock, we shall start this interesting conversation. It promises to be an interesting engagement with Mr. Lekwe. He has a wonderful wealth of experience that I think we can gain from actually this evening. He's the chief operating officer at the private jets, and he has been on the business for more than a decade, servicing the industry, the private jet sector. So he understands the luxury sector inside out very well, and he's going to share with us, based on his experience, of what the industry should expect post COVID. Please don't forget to drop your comments, your questions in the comment box. Please don't forget to drop your questions, viewers, in the comment box. So Mr. Lekwe will be here to answer very well all your questions. And if you have any comments, just drop it right there in the comment section. So it's 7 o'clock. Should we give our viewers extra few minutes, Mr. Lekwe, before we start?
Yes, I think
what
so.
Yes, I think so. Yeah, we can give them like extra 5 minutes so we can get more people to sign up. All right, so I'm just telling people to drop their questions and comments in the comment section at the bottom of the page. So I think we can start now. We have quite a number of people who have signed up to this. Okay. So thank you everyone for joining us. This is Mr. Lekwe Omotade, and did I pronounce that Lekwe very well?
Mr. Lekwe, you always ruin my name.
I'm sorry.
So it's Mr. Lekwe.
Okay, Lekwe Omotade. It's like Lekwe. Don't mind me, I'll pronounce it correctly. Mr. Lekwe Omotade. He actually is Chief Operating Officer at Private Jets Nigeria, and their office is located right inside the international airport, just next to the beautiful, lovely, luxurious hotel. Who is it? Okay, the luxury. Sorry, did you say anything?
No, go ahead.
Go ahead. Okay, so it's actually located right inside the Legend Hotel at Ikeja.
On the same facility.
On the same facility, yes. Actually, not inside the hotel. Actually, on the same facility. Yeah, you're right. As the hotel. So let us just start right away. And we want to just learn from your wealth of experience, being in the industry for more than a decade. How much has COVID-19 impacted your sector, Mr. Omotade, the private jet sector?
First of all, I would say good evening, everyone. And good evening, Funke, as well. Thank you all for tuning in and joining in on this live session. So, the COVID-19 issue has affected almost everyone. Nobody has been excluded. So, I would say that in general, in the aviation industry, you can see for yourself, and everybody joining online, that flights have not happened in the last 3 months. And it's going to go till the end of June, so it's going to be 4 months. So we can all imagine what it means not to earn revenue in 4 months, and you have overheads to attend to. So first of all, I'll tell you, the request for flights have declined. Okay, I checked my, the website which is connected to my email. I don't get requests as much. Maybe 1 or 2 would just trickle in. Then, of course, without patronage, you cannot do anything. You can't earn money. You can't even pay your own, pay for your own overheads, like the parking fees. Sometimes you need to keep the aircraft clean. The engineers will be at the airport making sure the engine is, running properly. So now, the challenges are all mixed up.
Okay.
So you talk about the overheads that you have to, service always. Those are like fixed overheads. They're not variable overheads. So those are overheads that, like the parking fees, the parking fees. Engineers would have to come to the airport once in a while to check the aircraft engines and check if the aircraft is in a good shape. So another challenge.
Okay, they said your voice is better now. Yes, yeah. I think there's a feedback from Mrs. Adebule that your voice is better now. Okay. So they said they can hear you well and it's loud and clear. So please go ahead. Yes, thank you.
So there's another part of it that has to do with, there's been skeletal flying this period, which of course at the discretion of the Ministry of Transportation for them to give you a ministerial approval for you to fly. So it depends on how urgent, and someone is saying my voice is still
okay, Abdullah.
Now for you to do even the emergency flights, of course you can't cut that, you can't roll that out. So it's a challenge. On the regular, you get a request. You prepare for the flight, you plan the flight, and off you go. But now, even if you want to do an emergency flight, you have to go through the Ministry of Transportation to process a ministerial approval. Yeah, so it's a bit of tough one. Yeah, so revenue loss, flight request on the decline. Well, still echoing. The challenge is just, you know, from all the things I've mentioned, decline in requests.
Revenue. Yes. Okay.
Yeah. Decline in revenue. Of course, if you don't get requests, you won't get patronage. Then, of course, your revenue will dip. Then, of course, another part of it is to sustain your fixed revenue, your fixed overhead. You know, the variable ones are when you fly, you have to pay for those ones. But when you're on ground, not flying, there's some fixed overheads that you have to pay for as well. So you have to keep up with all of those. So it's a bit of challenge. It's tough for us in the industry at the moment.
Okay, but one would expect at this time that you experience some high level of patronage. And now let's even look at post-COVID, because that is what we're discussing tonight. One would expect that at least post-COVID, people want to employ the services of private jet operators more than ever before, because everybody would be afraid to go commercial. So what is your take on this? Don't you think the market will rebound for you post-COVID?
Okay, everything depends on speculation. You know, most times people can say things and it might not turn out that way. So now we have targets. So our target goes thus. So we want to target not just the rich folks. So we want to drop the bar to upper middle class, corporate companies who have not previously used the service. Then also targeting company executives, and sure, the rich who never found private jet as, you know, a way of life. They never saw, they see it as an expensive venture. So they're also part of the target. So it's a speculation. We also were hopeful in the private jet business.
Short break about how one will expect that at this time the private jet sector will rebound and make more money, the money they couldn't actually possibly make when there was the COVID pandemic. What's your take on it? Yes,
there is.
We hope that post-COVID you'll be able to at least rebound.
Yeah, we're speculating in that direction as well. And we expect that our speculations happen the way you just talked about, that the more we want to experience more patronage. I think it's breaking. Hold on one second.
All right, okay.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, we've got your feedback now from Treasure Dodola that the audio is okay at both ends now. So you can go ahead. Yes.
Okay, so we hope that the speculations turn out that way too, because like you mentioned earlier, the lots of people who fly the airlines,
the commercial flight,
yeah, hopefully they will you know, come fly the private jet as well. So we also have targets of sets of people that we want to, you know, reach out to in terms of lowering the bar. So like I mentioned earlier, we're targeting the like the upper middle class, the first class and business class flyers, who can as well afford to fly the private jet, the business executives, more corporate companies, we want them on board as well. So we're going to be reaching out to a lot of these people actually, and we'll expect that everything goes, you know, as speculated, all things being equal.
Okay, but would you consider, like, how will I put it now, that people can pay premium, you know, but who don't want to go on commercial flights, and as well they can afford to have a chartered private jet? Do you consider taking about 5-10 people at the same time? You know, that's kind of arrangement at this time, at least to augment for.
Yeah, that falls under our new model. It's not a new model, but it's a model that has been there, that it's been, you know, it's been struggling to come up in the industry. So now we're going to put out the per seat charter model. So that will cater for the sets of people that you're talking about. So for them to be able to offer, okay, for example, you have a 13-seater aircraft, and you need to put 13 passengers on it. So you can have different passengers share the cost of the, you know, chartering the aircraft. So at the end of the day, it falls into each passenger paying for their seats.
All right. So there's a question before you go on from Ifetobo Wana, and he's asking a very interesting question, which I think it's also another business you may want to consider. He's saying that, how do we get jet services to strategic tourism routes like Obudu, Baby Strip, Yankari, and the Mambila Plateau? And I think, do you want to go into something like that?
Well, for those places, I will use Obudu as an example. It's a short airfield. That's actually called Baby Airstrip. So it's not like a standard. It's not like a standard runway. So a private jet, depends on the private jet. Some of them might not be able to land there. The ones with bigger configurations might not be able to land, will not be able to land there. So for the kind of specification for places like Obudu, which is the Baby Airstrip, the propeller aircraft, I remember back in the days when I was with Aero, we used to fly into Obudu with the Dash 8. So they want to convey, so the challenge there with the private jet sector is that Ifetobo would want to convey lots of passengers, like 30, but you don't have a private jet that can convey 30 passengers. Then another part of it is the capability of that aircraft to land there because it's a short airfield. So mostly propeller aircraft are the best, like the Beechcrafts, the Dash 8s, because they have shorter long distance. So that's the difference. So Efetobo, I don't know if I answered your question.
Okay. There's another question which I want us to take for go back to our question. Someone saying the height of COVID and post-COVID might be a tough reality, considering the continuous increase of the coronavirus globally. Rather businesses must consider implementing strategies to win and restore passengers' confidence. And he mentioned, for instance, Emirates is introducing hygiene kits to restore passengers' confidence. So what, and that is one question I also have on my list for you. So what are you doing, to restore passengers' confidence?
Okay. Sorry. First of all, it's similar to what Emirates have now. The Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority also have some new procedures and processes on how to handle and curb the virus. So it has started already with awareness and trainings by the NCDC and the Port Health. So they're training the crew on how to avoid contact with the virus, on also how to disinfect the aircraft, make sure passengers wear their mask, and also sanitizing their hands often. So it's also what it is going to start doing. So for example, Emirates, they say they would disinfect their lavatories, which is the toilet, every 45 minutes on an international flight. But in the NCA regulation is 60 minutes on an international flight. So you disinfect the toilet, which is a general place, which is like the most sensitive and important used place on the aircraft. So you disinfect it every 60 minutes. That is according to the NCA regulations. So another part of it is that the crew, it is mandatory for flight crew to wear mask, goggles, and visors. So it's only when the pilot is in the cockpit that is the only time they can remove the mask and ease up themselves at least. Then another part of it is meals are to be packed and handed over, and every cabin crew must wear gloves. So it's a bit more strict for the cabin crew because they have to wear goggles or visors and like a gown, a protective gown as well, and hand gloves. So let me give a bit of reassurance in regards to being in the cabin. And people think, okay, myself and you had this discussion I think last week about the scare of people all being in the cabin together, and you were concerned about the air in the cabin. So there is what you call, there's a filter. There's a filter that is in the aircraft. So it filters the air, and research has shown that it also kills germs, bacteria, viruses. Well, to an extent, to a very good extent, which is 99%. 99%. So air goes in and out of the cabin depending on the aircraft, because it comes in through the engines, then it goes through you know, the purifier, then it filters it before it gets into the cabin. So the air you breathe in is actually filtered before it gets into the cabin, and when it's exiting as well, it also exits. So there's some bigger aircrafts that between 2 to 3 minutes, the whole air in the cabin leaves and is replaced by another. So it depends on the type of aircraft. So most aircraft, most new generation aircraft are fitted with that, you know, it's called the HEPA. It's called high efficiency particular air filter. So that's a bit of reassurance for passengers. And this is not something we came up with. IATA also, you know, enlighten the public on that as well.
All right. Yeah, you know, we actually had this discussion like last week, like you rightly said. But now let's take a look at the private jet sector itself, because I'm sure nobody wants to die, the rich or the poor, nobody wants to die.
Yes.
So what measures are you putting in place at private jets?
Okay, so firstly, like I said,
passengers' confidence.
Yeah, so I did the holistic aviation processes and procedures. So I'm going to narrow it down to the private jets now. So first of all, there is, of course, before you get into the aircraft, you know, you must sanitize. Your temperature, first of all, must be taken. So if your temperature exceeds 40, of course, you will step aside. You'll be declined flying. You won't get on board the aircraft. So afterwards, of course, you need to sanitize your hands and, of course, come to the airport with your mask, your face mask, non-medical face mask. So you have to come to the airport with a non-medical face mask. But if you forget, of course, we have like extras that we would hand over to passengers in that situation. So, of course, the private jet as compared to the airliners, you have more space in between passengers as compared to the regular airliners. Like they mostly do 3 abreast on different roles, but the private jets, most times you find a singular seat, you know, next to each other and not too close to each other. Mm-hmm. So automatically there is some sort of social distancing in the private jet already. Mm-hmm. And another advantage of that the private jet has over what do you call it? Over the normal commercial big airline is that most times you don't fly private jet with strangers. So most people, they come as a group. There's a principal charterer, so they come in with him and all of that. But the only time they're going to be flying with strangers is when we now adopt the per seat charter. So it has to do with proper screening. So I started with the temperature and all of that. Then the sanitizers must be 70% alcohol based. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So passengers are required to wear the mask until they probably want to eat. That's the only time they're required to take away their mask. So if it's also an international flight, because the private jet is of small capacity, we are going to reduce the time of disinfecting the toilets. So if you have 8 passengers on board an aircraft, we're not going to do 45 minutes or 60 minutes. So we're going to do disinfect the lavatory, the toilet after every usage. Disinfect the lavatory after every usage. Then, of course, if before you depart, the aircraft will have been, disinfected, all the necessary precautions in making the aircraft safe for flying would have been done. Then, if you require us as well to bring you back to your destination where you departed from, we're going to be on ground a little bit. So before you get there, also, the aircraft will have been, disinfected. Everything would have been done before your arrival to avoid late departure.
All right. Thank you very much for that detailed explanation. At least now people watching from home who are planning to get on board or to use your services will know that they're actually in safe hands, and you've dotted the I's and crossed the T's.
And
but now I forgot to ask you earlier.
That same filter, you have it on private jets as well. So that's another assurance for passengers who would like to fly the private jet too.
Now that you just painted and created for us, what kind of strategies, marketing strategies are you putting in place now, at least if not to recover some of the money lost during the COVID in the last 4 months? You understand? This to a quarter or a half of it to be able to recoup as soon as possible, as soon as your offices are open again.
Yeah, I mentioned that earlier that we're going to, previously, the private jet sector is not as you look for customers mostly. They find you. Your customers find you. Your customers know where to find you. But now, like I said previously, we're going out to also look for customers so that we can get back some of the lost revenue over the COVID lockdown period. So we're going to have different targets now, like I mentioned earlier. So the strategy is now to take the private jet business to the people, not them coming to us as usual, like it used to be previously. So that's why we want to do, the Pacific charter fly, bring it down in terms of cost to accommodate like the upper middle class, the executives, like that. So
you're looking to give you some form of discounts.
Exactly. So we're taking it to the people. So the strategy basically now is take it to the people, not the old ways of people come to us.
People come to you. Okay, now there was a call on one webinar I attended that it is now time for the luxury sector, to come online. If you know very well, I'm sure you are very familiar with the sector. I don't have to say it to you again. They were actually reluctant to come online. And like you rightly said, the attitude has always been customers will find us. Those who know our value will look for us. They come to us. We don't have to go to them. You understand? But I think the tide is changing now post-COVID. So the advice has been now for luxury brands to come online, to use the social media and the website, to drive their marketing strategy. What is your take on this? Do you really think the luxury sector will fully embrace the online model post-COVID?
Okay, I'll give you. Okay, for instance, you can find us online. We have a website where you can go to and request for a flight. Then we get it and reply you. So we've done that since the beginning of Private Jets Nigeria. We're one of the few private jets company, if not the only one, who get requests that way via our website, and we in turn reply you with a quote, or maybe you're trying to make inquiries. Okay, so I'll give you another instance of being on other social media platforms. Okay, so we've been on Instagram for 5 years. We have never gotten one request from Instagram. We have never gotten a request from Facebook. So that, in a way, it's one of the reasons why the luxury section or the luxury section or the luxury sector or the private jet business will be very skeptic about placing, 100% confidence on social media. So, and the thing is, I would also buttress it with part of the challenge is the exposure of when you pay, what you're exposed to in this part of the world. Okay, for example, somebody makes an inquiry and wants to pay online, pay for a flight that is about maybe $20,000 or $20,000 or more. That client, immediately that client sends the money to you via online. You're the person at risk. If the money, gets caught out in process, if somebody hijacks in transit, you're the person at risk. So we've been talking to we have a model that we're working on. It was pre-COVID with Standard Chartered Bank, and we're also talking to MasterCard. And this is part of the challenges that I and we, the team Private Jets Nigeria, showed concern on. That so what security will be available and will give people confidence to do a wire transfer via online using their cards,
online banking,
to our account. So it's a bit tricky. But we get requests online, we're present online, but we're still watchful about the payment online.
Okay, but actually the argument for the online marketing strategy is one that, of course, for brand presence, it's good for you to be online. But secondly, for the new monies, you understand, the musicians out there who are making millions of dollars, the videos of this world and the likes of them, do you understand?
Yeah.
The people who work in technology who are making millions every day from technology, and they're the younger generation, multi-millionaires who are actually online, who consume content online, who are not like your old money bags, who will naturally come to your office or just pick your phone and call you and say, okay, I'm on your list of clientele and I already know how to reach you. So in looking at it from that perspective, are you thinking of reaching out to that segment of the market?
Yeah, we're available for them. It's you can check our Instagram handle. We've been there, and what I'm saying, my comparison is that people still prefer to Google Private Jets Nigeria to make a request rather than going on Instagram. Because, another scare with the likes of Instagram is, apologies for this, but I think there are lots of unserious people. So even I am probably not going to be trusted as an operator of a private jet company. So they probably see it and say, this is audio, it is not for real. It's this guy, no, it's not in that space, it's just trying to get attention or something, or clout, the way they say it now. But but you're actually pushing the business to the people. Okay, I'll tell you one instance. I wouldn't mention someone's name, and that is like the only request I think only request we've ever gotten on Instagram before. So it's somebody who wanted to do. It was from somebody who wanted to do a free video shoot. And at the end of the day, that person would in turn post the pictures on Instagram. Exactly. So that is how, that is how I perceive it. And that is how it has happened over the years. So it will take a while. It's a growing market, and the population in terms of people.
I think we have him back now. All right, can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
Better now. Yes, sorry about that. It's actually network. Your friend just said, Uwana said we need 5G in Nigeria, not 1G that we are currently using. All right, so let's quickly go back so that we can wrap up. It's almost, we have 3 minutes left to go. So now let's look at the use of AR and VR, virtual reality, as a marketing tool post-COVID for you. Because that has been part of what propositions by experts in the sector, that auto industry and possibly private jet sector like you could begin to consider using VR as a marketing tool. What do you think?
Okay. The difference between the two, I think what might work first, and probably not almost immediately for the private jets is the augmented reality.
Yeah.
Not the visual. You know, the visual is where you wear something and it takes you somewhere else. But the augmented can be used in terms of when there's a new lifestyle add-on on the private jet. So for people who have flown private jet before, they can actually be a part of that and want to be a part of the reality. You know, we mentioned this earlier on that in the private jet, you don't want to downplay or water down the experience, which is a physical experience. So you don't want somebody who was not physically been on a private jet to have the same experience with somebody who just had a visual reality experience. So it still has to be that way, that for you to be able to afford a private jet, it has to be watered in terms of the experience you get in exchange for the money you pay. So I think the augmented might work, you know, better, because even for aircraft manufacturers. So when the aircraft is in the hangar being produced of factory, instead of people going, maybe on board while it's still in the factory, people can actually use the augmented experience to just know what to expect on the on the private jet that is about to be released into the market. So I think the augmented might work better.
Okay, but are you going to maintain your by appointment only strategy?
Appointment.
Yes, appointment. Most times for you is appointment only. So you have to call. Nobody can just call you up and say, I think most times for luxury sectors, about usually by appointment.
No, for us, it's not. When you say appointment, do you mean the physical?
Yes, I mean yes, physical appointment.
No,
yeah, for the physical, not for the VR.
No. We don't do prior appointment. It depends on what you're the paying passenger. So it depends on what is comfortable for you.
Mm-hmm.
So if you contact us via the website and we request we respond to your request, and you can decide to say you want to do a wire transfer to your bank, which is accepted by us. Then all you need to do is come on the day you're flying and jump on your flight.
Mm.
So it depends. Some passengers are not comfortable doing a wire transfer. They want to come to the office. They want to do everything physical. They want to see you physical. They want to inspect the aircraft.
Mm-hmm.
Then they also want to make sure they are handing over the money to you,
The right person.
directly, so that they can go to sleep.
Because we're talking about thousands of dollars here.
Exactly.
All right, yeah. Two questions more, then we'll then quickly wrap this up very well. I was reading a report online about IATA saying that the onboard transmission for the COVID has never been recorded at all. That there's zero onboard transmission. What is your take on this? At least to reassure viewers, to reassure passengers that okay, actually this is true. You can't get infected on board.
Okay, so like Efetubo mentioned earlier. He posted earlier about what IATA, released to the public. I'm also aware of that. And yes and no. So I would say the yes part first. The yes part is that for modern aircraft, you have that very efficient filter that is installed in the airflow system. So that actually combats bacteria and viruses 99%. So you can be rest assured that the air in the aircraft is purified
Mm-hmm.
and is infection free.
Mm-hmm.
And you can compare that filter, the air that comes out of that filter to the ones you find in ICUs,
Mm-hmm.
emergency centers, in hospitals. So it's well purified and it's free of germs, bacteria, and viruses. But on the other side of it, which I said no previously, is that if somebody or passenger who is infected already or has the symptoms gets on board the aircraft,
Mm-hmm.
that is where there's a bit of exposure to danger.
Mm-hmm.
So if a passenger that is infected sits next to you and coughs or sneezes, you might be eating and not wear your mask at that time.
Or taking a drink.
So your mouth is opening and closing. Then your nose, of course, is exposed.
Mm-hmm.
Then if that person also puts, his or her hand on the face
Mm-hmm.
and touches something close to you, or probably place their hand on you or something by mistake.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the risk part of it.
Okay.
So
finally
now,
Okay.
the most important part of it is that the ground screening procedures and processes must be thorough.
All right, that's very nice. So finally now, what do you think is the way forward generally for the luxury sector post-COVID? What is the way forward for the sector?
I think first of all, our previous attitude of our customers know us must change.
Yeah.
So our new motto should be we are going to the customer. And I think that would make a lot of difference. So now you can imagine passengers you never approached. Maybe they're probably thinking of flying a private jet, and they're not sure yet.
Mm-hmm.
Previously, if you go by the way we do it, we don't go to them. They can easily change their mind not to fly. But somebody who has that deep inside pondering, if you go to that person, and you make your reasons clear to that person why you need to fly the private jet now, you're safer on the private jet as compared to flying the normal commercial airplanes because of your exposure rate. So I think we just need to change that. We need to move. Previously we were like mountains, waiting for the snow to settle on top of us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but now we need to go look for the snow. So like they say, if Mohammed, whoever needs to go to the mountain, if Mohammed does not go, the mountain will go to Mohammed. Yes.
Thank you so much, Mr. Omotade.
Yeah, you're
well,
welcome.
actually, I think that's it, because now the market's become more competitive, and you really have to do something extra for your clients to get them. And
of course, another part of it is that because we're luxury, we need to have incentives. Okay, so I want to market somebody who wants to fly a private jet and is still contemplating. I'll tell everything in regards to incentives that the person needs to know.
Mm-hmm.
I can even go as far as telling you what football team do you support?
Mm-hmm.
And before they get into the aircraft, they find the colors of the football team they support. You know that you can. There are lots of creativity.
Yes.
In terms of incentives. You can ask the person. So when what kind of food? What preference do you have that you've never gotten before on a private jet?
Mm-hmm.
So we're ready to give you a new experience. So we can tailor your experience to you personally.
Bespoke.
Yeah, bespoke. Exactly.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Mr. Omotade, for giving us your time tonight. We appreciate you so much. So, like, just a quick recap. The key thing he said is that the luxury sector, especially the private jet sector, must reinvent itself. It's no longer business as usual. So you have to think of a more creative way to woo the customers to your net, because the market is getting more competitive by the day, and you're all fishing from the same ocean, from the same sea.
Exactly.
Thank you so much, Mr. Omotade, for giving us
You're
your
welcome.
time. It's been
Thanks for having me.
remarkable honor talking to you.